What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. Hold on one second. Yes, hello? Oh, the hobby content czar? I was actually just getting ready to record today's video, yes. Oh, everyone's reacting to the new Geoff Wilson video? I don't have a choice. Like, I had something else ready to go for today. Oh, I understand staying on program and narrative. Yeah, all right. All right, I'll react to the Geoff Wilson video. All right, goodbye. Anyway, so like I said, what is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. So the hobby content sphere, things have been quiet for a little too long. You know, I had commented last week on the weekly sports card market update that it had been a pretty dramaless week, really. And this week, kind of the same way. It has been a fairly quiet few weeks in the sports card world. There's been a few little things here and there, you know, but nothing, no one big overarching narrative and story. Well, friend of the show, I'll call him friend of the show. I would call him friend of mine, Mr. Geoff Wilson, comes in like the Kool-Aid man and says, just hold on one darn second here. I'll stir that drama pot up. If you haven't seen it, he did a rant. It's this one right here. Chasing hits and flipping is not killing collecting. If you haven't seen it yet, you can go check it out over on the Geoff Wilson show. And it has spawned, as my friend Carlos likes to say, the content gods have graced us all as creators, because everyone has chimed in with their 3 cents on this take, including the comment section of that video. And then, you know, John Mangini did a reaction. Dustin's done a bunch of people have done reactions to this video. Now, reaction style content is generally not something I do very often, but this is something I have discussed. You know, Geoff talks about, like, if you made a thing that said collecting is dead and it's all about gambling now, that's a lot, whatever. Here's the thing. Geoff is very much right, and Geoff is very much wrong. Both things can be true. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but let's talk about it for a second. In Geoff's video, he talks about how when he was growing up, chasing the hits, you know, you rip the packs looking for the 89 Griffey, you would occasionally complete a set. The rest of the cards didn't matter. And here's the thing. That's true for some people. He talked about, you know, the new Beckett coming out every month, and you would go look up all your air quote big cards and see what you had and which ones went up, and they put the little arrow next to it, and there'd be a hot list and the whole thing. And once again, that is absolutely true. A lot of us did that. Hell, it was so popular that there was 2 magazines in the peak of the craziness. You had Beckett, and then you had Tough Stuff. And you know, you would buy them both. That was the hobby. That was hobby YouTube before hobby YouTube. Beckett and Tough Stuff were the first hobby influencers. Maybe there was a couple others. If you were a nerd, you bought Scry and Inquest, which was the Magic the Gathering and Pokemon version of Beckett. And we did that 100%. You know, we would run to the card shop every month. When the new Beckett came out, it was a really exciting day. Now, on the flip side, there is people, myself included, that back in the 80s and 90s completed sets that did care about the other stuff other than whoever the hottest rookie at the time was. That is absolutely true as well. That's what John Mangini talked about in his video. Here's the thing. And I think this has been true since cards became collectible, investable, whatever. Since cards were a thing, there is, in my opinion, 3 pillars of the hobby. And I think they change in size, importance, and shape during different eras. You have your collectors. I call them true blue collectors. Your John Mangini style, your old school, I have the 3-ring binder, I completed the entire set of 89 Upper Deck. I master setted it. I have everything, all the inserts, checklists, you name it, I got it. If they put little stickers at Dairy Queen, I went and got those too. You have those people. You've always had those people. You will always have those people. On the other end of the spectrum, the other pillar, you have, let's just call them the degens. I want to chase whoever the hottest thing is. If it's Jose Canseco or Mark McGuire or Ken Griffey Jr. or Bobby Witt, Jaden Daniels, Victor Wembanyama, it doesn't matter. Insert whatever thing here. They want to chase the hit. They want to chase the rush. They want to rip a pack. They want to treat it like a lottery. They want to treat it like an investment. They want to flip cards. They don't care about the cards at all. They just want their 10%. It's a business. There's that pillar. Let's call it the money side, if you will. That might be a better name for it. You have the collector side and the money side. And there's people that skew heavily in both. There are some people that all they do is care about the money or the hit or the rush or the entertainment value. And the cards are almost semi-ancillary. They are not the important part of the whole thing. The flip game, the challenge, the chase, whatever you want to call it, that's what they're actually there for. That is pillar number 2. Pillar number 3 is where I think a bulk of people live, and that is the middle. That's where I fall in. There are certain sets that I still build. There are certain things I still collect. I also like to rip an occasional box sometime and try to chase the big hit for the excitement of it all. I don't like to buy in the breaks. I'd rather rip the box myself, but I still enjoy, even though I got punched in the face, the excitement of checking tracking on my Bowman Jumbo box. Is it here yet? Oh, it's almost here. It comes tomorrow. Cool. Setting up the camera, getting ready to record, doing a live, ripping it as a standalone video, opening it up, going through the things, you peek it through to see if there's a little color sticking out of the corner. Yeah, great. That is fun and entertaining to me. But on the flip side, I can have a binder next to me putting together a set of Marvel Masterpieces. I'll buy a card because I think it's too cheap and then sell it when it goes up. I'm a mercenary when it comes to certain cards sometimes. On the flip side, there's cards that I buy, my Manny Ramirez cards, my LeBron refractors, some Marvel stuff, some non-sports autos that I buy my Pedro Pascal Mandalorian auto, I bought for $1,500. At one point in time, and one is not sold for a really long time, but at one point in time, that card was over $5,000. I could have sold it. Could have made a killing on it. Guess what? I didn't want to. Why? Because I wanted to own the card. Owning the card was more important to me than the money. Now, on the flip side, there's been cards, the Vlad Blue Refractor, legendary card on the channel. I bought it because it was a good deal. I got a steal of a deal on it. Comps went up on it. I sold it for a nice return. I made like $1,000 on that card, 1,500. I don't remember the exact number, but I made a very nice sum of money on that card. And I love that card. It was gorgeous. I would like to own one day, far, far, far from now, when that card is a lot cheaper. Gorgeous card. One of the prettiest cards I've ever owned. But I had no emotional attachment to it outside of the story behind it. Like I said, that card's like legendary on the channel at this point in time. But outside of that, I had no emotional attachment to the Vlad. It was all transactional attachment. And I was fine flipping it. And I think that's where a bulk of people fall into is pillar 3. They got a little collector in them. They got a little degen, little flipper in them. And it's a little happy medium in the middle there. A lot of people want to paint the extremes. Geoff painted the extreme of gambling. It's not all about gambling. It's not all about flipping. It hasn't killed collecting. It's changed it. It absolutely has changed it. It hasn't killed it. It's made it different. And then Mangini's the opposite end of the spectrum of, no, I want my binders. I want my complete sets. But let's be honest, the truth is somewhere in the middle. And I think the other thing I think that's also true is the different pillars become the front-facing version of the hobby at different times. For a long period of time, the John Mangini types were the face of cards. Now it's flipped. There's still a lot of people that do what John does, but they don't get the attention anymore. The money has swung, the eyeballs have swung, the narrative has swung, the content, whatever you want to call it, has swung to the Geoff Wilson style. I want to buy into a break. I want to hit big. I want to buy a card at 50 and sell it for 75. I want to make 15% on this transaction. I want to chase downtowns. Geoff uses the example of his kid. He doesn't want to build a complete set, a base set anymore. He wants to build a set of kabooms or downtowns or uptowns or some other crazy case hit insert or whatever. So collecting's still there. It's just different now. It is different. It has shifted. It still exists. And there's still people doing what John does. But right now, the eyeballs and the focus are on the flipping, gambling, chasing narrative. That's the part that gets all the mainstream. But that is not the entire hobby. There are still a lot of people that do the other stuff. It's just all the attention shifts to the money side. And you could see it in content. I've talked about this a ton of times before. This weekend is my 5-year anniversary on YouTube. I've been doing this a long time. There's one thing I know for sure. If I make a video about drama, about huge profits or huge losses, basically the financial side of the hobby, it is probably going to perform pretty well. And drama could be a company or a person doing something stupid. That all goes into the drama category. If I do a mail day, if I do a recent pickups, if I do here's the top 10 items in my collection, or here's this cool thing, or look at this cool thing that I have, or this subset of thing that I have, or whatever, those videos are going to perform like crap compared to the other ones. Whether you like it or not, the masses want the train wreck, the quick buck, or the disaster. That they want that side of it from a content perspective. So the Mangini style content, though good for certain people, does not get the eyeballs. There's a reason why all those guys in that group that have been making content forever, long before me and Dustin and Geoff Wilson and this new breed came along, that we came along and catered our content to the flipper, gambler, drama seeker style of content. And we're not all about that, but I skew into that stuff sometimes. The news, what's going on in the hobby this week, that style of stuff versus here's this new binder of 67 tops that I completed. Here's this new vintage baseball card mail day. There's a reason why our channels grew super quick and theirs are on the slower grind. Still good content, just different. One gets more eyeballs than the other. So more attention is focused on the flipping, gambling, the money side of the hobby, to just sum it down to one term. So it can feel like that. And has all that, the hit chasing, the flipping, killed collecting? In my opinion, it has not. Has it changed collecting? Yes. Yes. You could still put sets together. You could still do whatever you want, but it has changed things. Boxes are more expensive now because of breaking in the microtransaction nature of it. Certain cards are more expensive now because they've become chase hits. You can't put a master set together anymore. It would be nearly impossible because of the print runs and all the parallels and all that stuff. But if you want to collect your favorite player, you could still do it. Nothing's stopping you. If you want to go back and collect older stuff, put your sets together, guess what? You could still do it. So has it killed it? No. Has it changed it? Yes. Is the money side of the hobby driving a lot of corporate decisions? Yes, probably. Probably. They're catering products more towards breakers. They are giving the breakers a large section of the allocation. The products are more hit driven. You know, Topps now has bounty chases out the ass. But you could still collect. People do it all the time. It hasn't killed it, but it has changed it a little bit. It's changed the narrative around it. You just don't hear about it as much anymore, but it's still going on. Go to your local card show. Trust me, there will be people, I've seen all ages, with their notebook and the checklist of cards that they need. And they're sitting there flipping through the dime boxes looking for the things to fill in for their sets. Now, does that get as much buzz as sex appeal as the guys with their Zion cases and their fancy cases on the table and their Mahomes $20,000 case hits and all that stuff? No, but it still exists. As always, curious for your thoughts and comments down below. Catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.